All right. Looks like I'm back. Learned something with that short stream. Oh my goodness, it didn't keep my... Alright. It didn't keep what I put in there before. That's great. Thank you for not keeping any of that, you stupid piece of crap. Why would... Why, why does it always keep the title and stuff from the previous one except for this last time? Okay, now the title should be changed. Great. Hope you're all doing well. Haven't streamed in a while, in a few weeks. Because honestly, I just haven't known what to do. I haven't been in the mood to play any games, and that's what you do, right? When you stream, you play games. But today I decided to do something different. Let's read bedtime stories. Got these books, these little bedtime story books. So I thought I'd go ahead and get those out, see what I had, and I decided on this one. Today I will be reading, or at least trying to read. I'm not the best at it. There we go. Put that mouse away. It looks like I got a bunch of glare from that light. The Elves and the Shoemaker. Hopefully that glare isn't so terrible. I'd like it if I could prop it up on something, it'd be better, but I don't know. I don't have anything like that. Anyway, let's get going. The Elves and the Shoemaker. Let's see here. Once upon a time, a shoemaker lived with his wife above his workshop. The shoemaker was a good man, and he worked hard, but he was very poor. The day came when he had only enough leather to make one pair of shoes. He cut out the leather and then left it on his workbench. I will be able to make a better pair of shoes after I've had a good night's sleep, he told his wife as they went upstairs. It's very hard to turn pages with dragon hands. There we go. The next morning, bright and early, the shoemaker went downstairs. What a surprise he had! On his workbench, where the leather had been, there was a brand new pair of shoes. They were neatly and perfectly made, with not a stitch out of place. Those shoes are a masterpiece. Or these shoes are masterpieces? Yes, these shoes are masterpieces, the shoemaker exclaimed to his wife. He put them in the window, hoping someone would come to buy them. Sure enough, a finely dressed young man soon entered the workshop to try on the shoes. They fitted perfectly, and they were so handsome that the man happily paid a high price for them. With the money, the shoemaker was able to buy enough leather to make 2 new pairs of shoes. By the time he returned to his shop, he was tired, so he cut out the leather and left it on his workbench. When he went upstairs, then he went upstairs to bed. The next morning, the shoemaker had another surprise. There on the workbench were 2 new pairs of shoes. They were even more beautiful than the first pair, and were just as perfectly made. The shoemaker put them in the window, and before lunchtime he had sold both pairs for a very good price. Now he had enough money to buy leather for 4 pairs of shoes. Once again, he cut out the leather and left it on his workbench, and went upstairs to bed. And once again, when he came down the next morning, he found beautiful shoes, all made up and perfectly stitched. The same thing happened every day for weeks. The shoemaker and his wife were not poor anymore. The shoes have been appearing as if by magic. The shoemaker said to his wife, "But someone must have made them. Who do you think it could be?" "Let's set up tonight and watch," his wife suggested. "Maybe we can find out." So that night, the shoemaker left some leather all cut out and ready to sew on his workbench as usual. Then, instead of going to bed, he and his wife hid behind a curtain at the back of the shop. There they waited and waited and waited. The shoemaker and his wife were just about to go to bed when, at the stroke of midnight, the shop door opened, and in danced 2 tiny elves. They skipped up to the workbench and quickly began sewing the leather into fine new shoes. As they worked, they sang, "We will sew and we will stitch to help the shoemaker grow rich." Soon, the shoes were finished, and the little elves leapt off the workbench and danced out of the shop. "These kind elves had helped us," said the shoemaker. "Those kind elves have helped us," said the shoemaker, astonished. "We must repay them." "Did you see how tiny their shoes were?" his wife asked. "And their little feet were bare." "Oh, how tiny their clothes were," the wife asked. I misread that. "And their little feet were bare. Those poor little men must be freezing." "Let's make some warm clothes for the elves to show how grateful we are," said the shoemaker. The next day, the shoemaker's wife knitted 2 cozy wooden jackets, 2 tiny scarves, and 2 pairs of warm pants. The shoemaker used his finest leather to make 2 little pairs of boots. That night, instead of leaving leather on his workbench, the shoemaker left the clothes all wrapped up in shiny paper and ribbons. When he and his wife hid behind the curtain to wait, at the stroke of midnight, the shop door opened, and in came the little elves. They hopped up onto the workbench and saw the presents that had been left for them. They opened the parcels at once, and in the twinkling of an eye, they had dressed in their brand new clothes. They knew that the presents were the shoemaker's way of saying thank you, and they did a happy dance together, singing, "Now the shoemaker's grown rich, there's no need to sew and stitch." Then they hopped off the workbench and scurried out the door. The shoemaker and his wife never saw the little elves again, but their troubles were over, and they had a good and happy life together for many long years. The end. The Elves and the Shoemaker. Let's see what other storybooks I've got here. Take this one off. About this one. I don't think I've ever read this story. The Little Mermaid. I'm sure this is a very short version of the story. I have what I assume is the original version, and one of those big, like, books of whatever the author was, the guy that gathered up all the stories. So I'm sure the original is in there somewhere. Oh, this is retold. Yes, this is a retelling of the story. So let's see here. May not be as dark as the original. I hear that one's pretty dark. Once upon a time, deep beneath the sea, there lived a lovely little mermaid. She had long chestnut hair, deep sea blue eyes, and a beautiful fishtail of silvery green. She had a voice as clear and bright as crystal, the most beautiful voice in the ocean. The little mermaid lived with her father, the Sea King, and her 5 older sisters. She spent her days playing near the castle and singing to the other sea creatures. On a mermaid's 15th birthday, she is allowed to go to the surface of the sea to watch the human world. When it was the little mermaid's turn, she swam up eagerly. A ship was sailing nearby. As the little mermaid listened to the music and laughter, she saw a handsome young prince The little mermaid looked at him and felt her heart melt with love. Turn page. The little mermaid followed the ship from a distance so that she could watch the young prince. Suddenly, lightning flashed across the sky and thunder cracked. A fierce storm blew up, and the ship tossed and turned in the waves. The little mermaid watched as it sank, hoping that the prince was safe. When the storm was over, the little mermaid saw her prince at last. He was lying in the water with his eyes closed, too tired to swim. I must save him, the little mermaid thought. She swam to him and took him to the safety of the shore, where she sang to him her lovely, sweet voice. There she sang to him in her lovely, sweet voice until he opened his eyes. He caught only a glimpse of her before she darted away to hide in the water. Quite a few pages there. Before long, a pretty girl came down to the beach. She found the prince and helped him up. The little mermaid watched them walk away together. Then, with an aching heart, she swam back to her home. With tears in her eyes, the little mermaid told her sisters that she had fallen in love with the prince. They knew who he was and took her to see his home. A castle the color of sand, with steps winding down to the sea. After that, the little mermaid swam to the surface every day to watch the prince. I would do anything to be a human so that he might fall in love with me, she told her sisters. Finally, her sisters said, "Go and visit the sea witch. Perhaps she can help you." The sea witch lived in a dark, underwater forest amid slimy plants that looked like snakes. The little mermaid was frightened, but the thought of the prince made her brave. "I can give you a potion that will make you human," said the sea witch. "But if you take it, you will lose your beautiful voice. You will get it back only if you win the true love of the prince." The little mermaid took the potion from the sea witch and went home to say goodbye to her father and sisters. They were sad that she was leaving, but they all wished her happiness on land. "Always remember where you come from," her father told her, "and come back to see us once a year." The little mermaid promised that she would. Then she drank the witch's potion and swam to the surface, where she fell asleep on the soft sand below the prince's castle. When the little mermaid awoke, her beautiful tail was gone, and in its place there were two long, slender legs. She was wearing a pretty gown, the same silvery green as her tail, and on her feet were two silver slippers. As she tried to stand up, the little mermaid's new legs wobbled, and she stumbled. Suddenly, she was caught by two strong arms. She looked up, right into the eyes of the handsome prince. "It's you," the prince cried. "You are the girl who saved me from drowning, aren't you? I've been looking everywhere for you." The little mermaid nodded, but she could not say a word. "Why won't you speak to me?" the prince asked, puzzled. The little mermaid couldn't answer. She could only look at the prince and hope that he would see how much she loved him. And he did. As he gazed into her deep sea blue eyes, the prince knew that she was the girl he had been looking for. Can't speak," he told her. "I know that I love you more than anyone on earth. Will you marry me and live with me forever?" The little mermaid's eyes shone, and she nodded. Then, as the prince kissed her, a wonderful thing happened. She could feel her voice returning. "Yes," she said happily, "I will marry you." They were married the next day, and the little mermaid took the name Marina, which means from the sea. At their wedding, the prince took her in his arms and whirled her around the sand. Marina's new legs danced beautifully. Every year on her birthday, Marina went back to the seashore and sang in her beautiful crystal clear voice. Her father and sisters came up to see her and were glad to know that Marina and her prince would live happily ever after. The end. That's The Little Mermaid. That version of it, anyway. Yeah, not how I've heard the original story ends. Plus, this is really short for bedtime story. We don't want sad stories for bedtime stories. Let's see. What else do we have? Here we go. Chicken Little. Chicken Little. No, I picked up all the pages. It's not what I want. There we go. Just want one page at a time. One day, Chicken Little was walking down the road, thinking his own thoughts about everything and nothing, when, thwack, an acorn fell on his head. Ouch, said Chicken Little, rubbing his head. I think the sky is falling. I must run and tell the king. So, Chicken Little ran down the road to tell the king. And on his way, he met Henny Penny. Where are you going in such a rush? Henny Penny asked Chicken Little. The sky is falling. I'm going to tell the king, said Chicken Little. I will come with you, said Henny Penny. I'm sure we only got one page. All right. So, Henny Penny and Chicken Little rushed down the road to tell the king, and on their way they met Cocky Locky. Where are you going in such a hurry? Cocky Locky asked them. The sky is falling, and we are going to tell the king, said Chicken Little. I will come with you, said Cocky Locky. So Cocky Locky, Henny Penny, and Chicken Little dashed down the road to tell the king, and on their way they met Ducky Lucky. Where are you going in such a hurry? Ducky Lucky asked them. The sky is falling, and we are going to tell the king, said Chicken Little. I will come with you, said Ducky Lucky. So, Ducky Lucky, Cocky Locky, Henny Penny, and Chicken Little scurried down the road to tell the king, and on their way they met Drakey Lakey. I mean, two ducks, but okay. Drakey Lakey. Where are you going in such a hurry? Drakey Lakey asked. The sky is falling. We are going to tell the king, said Chicken Little. I will come with you, said Drakey Lakey. So, Drakey Lakey, Ducky Lucky, Cocky Locky, Henny Penny, and Chicken Little scampered down the road to tell the king, and on their way they met Goosey Lucy. Where are you going in such a hurry? Asked Goosey Lucy. The sky is falling, and we're going to tell the king, said Chicken Little. I will come with you, said Goosey Lucy. So, Goosey Lucy, Drakey Lakey, Ducky Lucky, Cocky Locky, Henny Penny, and Chicken Little hurried down the road to tell the king, and on their way they met Turkey Lurkey. Where are you going in such a hurry? Asked Turkey Lurkey. The sky is falling, and we're going to tell the king, said Chicken Little. I will come with you, said Turkey Lurkey. So, Turkey Lurkey, Goosey Loosey, Drakey Lakey, Ducky Lucky, Cocky Locky, Henny Penny, and Chicken Little raced down the road to tell the king, and on their way they met Foxy Loxy. Why, good day, my friends, said Foxy Loxy. And where might you all be going on this fine morning? The sky is falling, said Chicken Little. We're going to tell the king. There's a page right there. Get that out. All right. Really? How interesting. Have you ever been to the king's palace before? Asked Foxy Loxy. No, said Chicken Little. The others all shook their heads. Then how will you know? Then how do you know you will find the way? Asked Foxy Loxy. I never thought of that, said Chicken Little. Why don't you let me help you, said Foxy Loxy. I know the way to the king's palace very well. Just follow me, and you'll be there in no time. So, Chicken Little, Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, Drakey Lakey, Goosey Loosey, and Turkey Lurkey all followed Foxy Loxy down the road. We only want one page, please. Thank you. Soon, they came to a path that led into the woods. They followed Foxy Loxy down the path into the woods and straight to Foxy Loxy's den. Foxy Loxy's wife and babies were waiting there, all ready to gobble up Chicken Little, Henny Penny, Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, Drakey Lakey, Loosey Goosey, and Turkey Lurkey. So, Turkey Lurkey, Goosey Loosey, Drakey Lakey, Ducky Lucky, Cocky Locky, Henny Penny, and Chicken Little all ran and flapped and flew away as fast as they could. And they never did get to tell the king that the sky was falling. The end. Well, that ended better than I thought it was going to. When we saw the fox led them to its den. Let's see. What else do we got here? How about... Let's see, we got this big old book here of Mother Goose Treasury. I think these stories are probably a little bit longer than those big books are. Let's see. Let's start. Oh, there's a lot of stories though. Maybe they're not that long. Well, looks like most of them are just 1 or 2 pages. These are good bedtime stories then if they're short like that. Let's see. Old MacDonald's Farm. Let's start at the beginning. The Learned Pig. My learned friend and neighbor pig, odds, bobs, and bills, and dash my wig. It's said that you, the weather knew. No, sorry, you the weather know. Please tell me when the wind will blow. Doesn't that sound like old McDonald's farm to me? I don't know. Maybe old McDonald's farm is a bunch of stories? I don't know. The hobby horse. The hobby horse. I had a little hobby horse, and it was dapple gray. Its head was made of pea straw, its tail was made of hay. I sold it to an old woman for a copper penny, and I'll gladly sing my song again for your horse should whinny, if your horse should whinny. Okay, so these are little rhymey things. The piper and his cow. There was a piper, had a cow, though he had nothing to give her. Pulled out his pipes and played a tune, and asked the cow to consider. The cow considered very well, and gave the piper some money, and asked him to play another tune that she would find quite funny. Shave a pig. Barber, barber, shave a pig. How many hairs will make a wig? 24, that's enough. Give the barber a pinch of snuff. All right. There was a little pig. There was a little pig who wasn't very big, so they put him in a great big show. While playing in the band, he broke his little hand, and now he can't play his old banjo. Whoa. The donkey. Donkey, donkey, old and gray, open your mouth and gently bray. Lift your ears and blow your horn to wake the world this sleeping morn. Charlie Warley. Charlie Warley had a cow, black and white around the brow. Open the gate and let her in. Charlie's cow is home again. I like this book. I like these short little rhymey things. Robert Barnes. Robert Barnes, fellow fine, can you shoe this horse of mine? Yes, good sir, that I can, as well as any other man. There's a nail, and there's a prod, and now, good sir, your horse is shod. A horse and a flea. A horse and a flea and 3 blind mice meet each other while skating on ice. The horse he slipped and fell on the flea. The flea said, "Oops, there's a horse on me." I only want one page. There we go. Here's the old MacDonald. I know. I think. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. On his farm he had a cow. E-I-E-I-O. With a moo-moo here and a moo-moo there. Here a moo, there a moo, everywhere a moo-moo. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. And on his farm he had some donkeys. E-I-E-I-O. With a hee-haw here and a hee-haw there. Here a hee, there a haw, everywhere a hee-haw. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. On his farm he had some pigs. E-I-E-I-O. With an oink oink here and an oink oink there. Here an oink, there an oink, everywhere an oink oink. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. On his farm he had some ducks. E-I-E-I-O. With a quack quack here and a quack quack there. Here a quack, there a quack, everywhere a quack quack. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Cock-a-doodle-doo. My dame has lost her shoe. A master's lost his fiddling stick. Sang doodle, doodle, do. Upon my word. Upon my word and honor, as I went to Bonner, I met a pig without a wig. Upon my word and honor. The Little Mouse. I have seen you, little mouse, running all about the house, through the hole your little eye, in the wainscot, peeping sly. In the wainscot, I don't know what that is. Peeping sly, sorry. Hoping soon some crumbs to steal, to make quite a hearty meal. Look before you venture out. See if Kitty is about. Right. Cat's gonna get the mouse. Mary had a little lamb. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. Let's get one page. There we go. Ba ba black sheep. Ba ba black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, yes, sir. 3 bags full. One for the master, one for the dame, and one for the little boy who lives down the lane. Ba ba black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, yes, sir. 3 bags full. A dozen eggs. I bought a dozen eggs Oh, I bought a dozen new-laid eggs from good old Farmer Dickens. I hobbled home upon two legs and found them full of chickens. Three blind mice. Three blind mice, three blind mice. See how they run, see how they run. They all ran after the poor farmer's wife, who had been afraid of mice all her life. Did you ever think you'd see such a sight as three blind mice that create such a fright? Three blind mice. Harvesting. The boughs do shake, and the bells do ring, so merrily comes our harvest in. Our harvest in, our harvest in, so merrily comes our harvest in. We've plowed, we've sowed, we've reaped, we've mowed, we've got our harvest in. Calendar rhymes. March winds. Oh, so that was the end of Old MacDonald. Now we're on to a new thing. Calendar rhymes. March winds and April showers bring forth May flowers. "30 days hath September. 30 days hath September, April, June, and November. February has 28 alone, all the rest have 31. Except leap year, that's the time when February has 29. Play days. How many days has my baby to play? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Hop away, skip away, my baby wants to play. My baby wants to play every day. Calm in June. Calm weather in June sets corn in tune. The greedy man. The greedy man is he who sits and bites bits out of plates, or else takes up a calendar and gobbles all the dates. Saturday, Sunday. On Saturday night shall be all my care to powder my locks and curl my hair. On Sunday morning my love will come in, when he will marry me with a golden ring. I must have read that wrong. It didn't rhyme very well. After Sunday. As Tommy Snooks and Bessie Brooks were walking out one Sunday, Says Tommy Snooks to Bessie Brooks, tomorrow will be Monday. This is true. Monday is the day after Sunday. Winter. Cold and raw the north wind doth blow, break in the morning early. All the hills are covered with snow, and winter's now come fairly. When the snow is on the ground, the little robin grieves when the snow is on the ground, for the trees have no leaves, and no berries can be found. So toss the robin some bread or cheese, and then he'll eat till spring comes round. A week of birthdays. Monday's child is fair of face. Tuesday's child is full of grace. Wednesday's child is full of woe. Thursday's child has far to go. Monday's child is loving and giving. Friday's child is loving and giving. Saturday's child works hard for its living. But the child born on the Sabbath day is bonny and blithe and good and gay. No, I want one page there. That's still too many pages. Come on, give me one page. Come on, Claw. Nope. We're gonna nope. Well, we'll do that. Come here, you page. There we go. Silly people rhymes. Mary, Mary. Mary, Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow? With silver bells and cockle shells and pretty maids all in a row. Hattie Patty. Hattie Patty, Jack a daddy, loves plum cake and sugar candy. He bought some at a grocer's shop, and out he came, hop, hop, hop. The house that Jack built. This is the house that Jack built. This is the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt in the house that Jack built. This is the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the cow with the crippled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the maiden, all forlorn, that milked the cow that crumpled the horn with the crumpled horn, that tossed the dog that worried the cat that killed the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the man, all tattered and torn, that kissed the maiden, all forlorn, that milked the cow with the crumpled horn, that tossed the dog, that worried the cat, that killed the rat, that ate the malt, that lay in the house that Jack built. And this is the priest, all shaven and shorn, that married the man, all tattered and torn, that kissed the maiden all forlorn, that milked the cow with the crumpled horn, that tossed the dog, that worried the cat, that killed the rat, that ate the malt, that lay in the house that Jack built. This is the farmer, sowing his corn, that kept the rooster that crowed in the morn, that waked the priest all shaven and shorn, that married the man all tattered and torn, that kissed the maiden all forlorn, that milked the cow with the crumpled horn, that tossed the dog, that worried the cat, that killed the rat, that ate the malt, that lay in the house that Jack built. Peter White. Peter White will ne'er go right, and would you know the reason why? He follows his nose wherever he goes, and all that stands awry. The Piper's Son. Tom, Tom, the piper's son, stole a pig, and away he run. The pig thought it was quite a treat to be carried down the street. Yeah, this is the next one. Nothing at all. There was an old woman called Nothing at All, who lived in a dwelling exceedingly small. A man stretched his mouth to the utmost extent, and down in one gulp the house and the old woman went. Ah, they're gingerbread. Miss Mackie. Alas, alas, for Miss Mackie, her knives and forks have run away, and where the cups and spoons were going, she's sure there is no way of knowing. There we go. Anna Elise. Anna Elise, she jumped with surprise. The surprise was so quick, it played her a trick. The trick was so rare, she jumped in a chair. The chair was so frail, she jumped in a pail. The pail was so wet, she jumped in a net. The net was so small, she jumped on a ball. The ball was so round, she jumped on the ground, and ever since then, she's been turning around. Looks like we had some little problem with the stream there. Hopefully it's better. The Old Woman. The old woman stands at the tub, the dirty clothes to rub. But when they are clean and fit to be seen, she'll dress like a lady and dance on the green. Oh, come on now. Just one page, please. There we go. Rub-a-dub-dub. Rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in a tub. And how do you think they got there? The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, They all jumped out of a rotten, but 'twas enough to make a man stare. Had no idea that's how that goes. The old woman under the hill. There was an old woman lived under a hill, and if she's not gone, she lives there still. I say Moses's toes. Toeses? Moses toeses? Moses toeses. Moses supposes his toeses are roses, but Moses supposes erroneously, for nobody's toeses are posies of roses, as Moses supposes his toesies to be. There we go, one page. If wishes were horses. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. If turnips were watches, I would wear one by my side. And if ifs and ands were pots and pans, there'd be no work for tinkerers. For tinkers. No work. There'd be no work for tinkers. Key and lock. I am a gold lock. I am a gold key. I am a silver lock. I am a silver key. I am a brass lock. I am a brass key. I am a lead lock. I am a lead key. I am a dawn lock. And I am a dawn key. I like that one. I am a dawn key. 3 wise men. 3 wise men of Gotham went to sea in a bowl. If the bowl had been stronger, my song would be longer. Solomon Grundy. Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday, christened on a Tuesday, married on a Wednesday, took ill on Thursday, worse on Friday, died on Saturday, buried on Sunday. This is the end of Solomon Grundy. Rip Solomon Grundy. Gregory Griggs. Gregory Griggs had 27 different wigs. He wore them up, he wore them down, to please the people of the town. He wore them east, he wore them west, and never could tell which one he liked best. Tweedledum and Tweedledee. Tweedledum and Tweedledee resolved to have a battle. For Tweedledum, said Tweedledee, had spoiled his nice new rattle. Just then flew in a monstrous crow, as big as a tar barrel, which frightened both the heroes so they quite forgot their quarrel. Ooh. Come on, one page. There we go. Play along rhymes. Swim. Mother, may I go out to swim? Yes, my darling daughter. Hang your clothes on a hickory limb, and don't go near the water. Here we go round the mulberry bush. Here we go round the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush. Here we go round the mulberry bush on a cold and frosty morning. Pat a cake. Pat a cake, pat a cake, baker's man. Bake me a cake as fast as you can. Pat it and prick it and mark it with a B. Put it in the oven for baby and me. Rain, rain, go away. Rain, rain, go away. Come again another day. Little Johnny wants to play. Billy, Billy. Billy, Billy, come and play while the sun shines bright as day. Yes, my Polly, so I will, for I love to please you still. Billy, Billy, have you seen Sam and Betsy on the green? Yes, my dear, I saw them pass, skipping over the new mown grass. Gregory Porgy? I'm not sure I've ever heard this one. Gregory Porgy, pudding and pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. When the boys came out to play, Gregory Porgy ran away. Come out to play. Girls and boys come out to play, the moon doth shine. Boys and girls come out to play, the moon doth shine as bright as day. Leave your supper and leave your sleep, come and play with your pals out in the street. It's alright. I think I read it maybe a little too slow. The Little Piggy. This little piggy went to market. This little piggy stayed home. This little piggy had roast beef, and this little piggy had none. This little piggy cried, wee, 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 all the way home. Come on, there's too many pages there. Alright. Little boys and girls. So you know what? I think I'm done reading for the night. Let's see, does this have? It does. Let's get it. Let's get this little page mark. And we'll put it here, and then if I do decide to read again at another time, this is where we'll start again. At the little boys and girls. Of our Mother Goose treasury. Well, that's it for the reading. I hope you are doing well. And this will be the end of the stream, so have a good night. Get plenty of sleep. See you next time. Goodbye.